Hey viewers, what's going on? Blue Monsoon here, and welcome back to an episode of Weapon Weekly. It is called Friday, meaning there is an episode of this show. Now for this week we're going to talk about the UMP-40, which is a heavy duty machine, and I'll get into why. Now first of all, the damage ratings are maximum of 33, which is very good for the SMGs, and a minimum of 15.4. Now I believe those are the same damage stats as the Scar H. Now the Scar H is a very heavy duty weapon, so for a small SMG to have the same damage rates as a big assault rifle, that's very good, and that's surprising. This weapon outshoots any SMG by damage, and it also has surprisingly good recoil. Rarely will this weapon kick away from it where you want. But it does have a very slow rate of fire. It's 600 rounds per minute. That's the slowest rate of fire out of any gun by 50 rounds per minute. If you go up against the CZ3A1, which is 1000 rounds per minute, you will get outshot no matter what. This gun doesn't have a good rate of fire, and honestly, that's one of its biggest downfalls. But that being said though, like I said, the recoil is very good. It's quite controllable. It's not the best ever. It has a weird kick every now and then, but you can easily get shots if you maintain accuracy and if you yourself are an accurate player. Now this weapon does also have pretty good hip fire. It's not amazing, it's nothing that's really going to outshoot much, but it is good. It definitely gets you by, and if you have an advantage in a one-on-one gunfight, because this gun is not designed for one-on-one, it is not very good at that. With a slow rate of fire, it does not help. In close quarters, most of the time it comes down to how quickly you can get bullets down range. Sure, damage helps, but the damage is no good if the bullets come out one at a time every 2 minutes. So this weapon isn't really the best one-on-one. If you can get a good line of sight though and possibly get a shot on your enemy before they can get a shot on you, you will most likely win the gun battle. But again, the biggest problem with this gun, aside from the rate of fire, is the fact that the damage drop-off is quite small. The damage drop-off is where the weapon stops doing certain damage and begins to drop off on the damage rating. This weapon is incredibly short. It's 8 meters for the maximum damage to drop off to start falling, and it's 40 meters after that. So that's the two lowest, or the two shortest distances for the SMGs. Now that's surprising, seeing this weapon has heavy damage, slow rate of fire, and good accuracy. You expect it to be good at range, but it's not. If you're going to use this weapon, I definitely recommend taking something like a small, or maybe a 44 Magnum, or even a Desert Eagle, just something to help you get range and, you know, make sure that you can hit targets at a distance. This weapon is not designed for one-on-one, close quarters, or to be fired at distance. This weapon, personally for me, is best as a sort of an engineer backup weapon. It's not going to be a weapon that you're going to dominate with. You can dominate with it, but personally I prefer to use it as playing a normal conventional engineer role, using a blowtorch, an RPG. I prefer going around repairing vehicles and using this when I get in a gunfight. It does that effectively, and to be honest, like I said, that's the way I love to play this weapon. Now oddly enough, this weapon has only a 26 round magazine. That is quite odd, but it does make up for that with very quick reload ratings. I believe they are the two fastest, or not the two fastest, they are both within the top 3 in reload speed. Now that's pretty good, especially for the SMGs where you're going to need quick reload because they're designed for close quarters. But again, like I said, this weapon is not close quarters, but either way, a fast reload never hurts. Now this weapon does actually have sort of a little brother. There's the UMP-9, which is also in this game, and that weapon is designed more as a close quarters weapon. It's personally one I haven't yet unlocked, and I've meant to get it for ages. I just haven't yet got around to actually unlocking it and using it in game. I've heard it's not as good as the UMP, but personally I think I'd prefer it more because I prefer a quicker rate of fire. Honestly though, no matter what kind of player you are, you could probably use this weapon and use it quite effectively, but like I said, it's not a one-on-one. It always seems to be the SMGs are somewhat unbalanced in this game. Back in Battlefield Hardline, and the beta that was still out, the SMGs I think were perfectly balanced. They worked well, so you could get, you know, a good enough close quarters kills and also maybe get some long range kills. I think the ones in Battlefield 4 are a little bit sort of out of balance. It seems like they've almost tried to make them too balanced, in which case they haven't made them SMGs. And personally, I still think there should be a separation between the SMGs and the PDWs in this game. I still think there should be a whole separate class for SMGs, which are solely for the engineer, and a class of PDWs, which are designed for all the classes. And these will be very small things like the FMG9, also things, you know, like extremely small weapons like the MP7, Mac-10, that sort of thing. The problem with that is it adds too many gun classes to the game, and this game already has them. One thing you could do is remove the DMRs, which aren't very favoured in Battlefield at all, especially not Battlefield 4, and replace them with a possibly PDW or SMG class. Now this weapon is surprisingly good, even though I've bashed it quite a bit. You can see here in a couple of these clips, if I do play well, I'm able to get some good accurate kills. And the G18 I've started to use, I realise is such a good sidearm, especially you have this red dot on it. The recoil looks crazy when you use it without a sight, but because of the patches that have been done, the recoil isn't actually as big, and the red dot stays perfectly in the middle, and you can easily get quite a lot of kills. One thing I think I should have changed with this weapon was I should have taken the suppressor off, or at least thought about something else. But until then, guys, this has been Monsoon, and as soon as guys, this has been Monsoon, out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.